All right, so financial literacy, this is class number 2. We are going over definitions of important terms in financial literacy. So what I want you guys to do, you've written down some of your ideas about each of these. Let me ask you, please tell me what you've written down, and I'll just ask for volunteers. I won't pick on you just yet. But banking, let's start with the first one. Can anyone share, well, one or two people share maybe how would you describe banking to someone that didn't know what banking was? What would you say?
Like a place where you exchange money.
Okay, so a place where you can exchange money. Okay, so like your bank is like a building. It's a place where you can go to get money, to deposit money from your account, right? And you have an account in a bank, a lot of you do. Okay, good. Anything to add to that? Okay, did anybody say anything about like the services that you get at banking other than putting money in, taking money out? Okay, you can pay bills, right? You can transfer money to different people at different places, right? So banking, you can make, you can research investments there. You can open accounts. You can plan for your future. Okay, so banking would be, yeah, the place or the sort of institution that offers services related to your money, how you get it out, how you put it in, that sort of thing. Okay. Awesome. Okay, what about investments? What about investments? What's an investment? Okay.
An object or a thing that can generate income for a period of time.
Okay, an object or a thing that can generate income over a period of time. So I think that's great. Yeah, if you invest in something, like if you invest yourself in something, you're trying to make something better, right? You're trying to grow something. So in terms of financial literacy, an investment would be, something that you plan to make money from, or something that over time will increase in value, even that kind of thing. Yeah, anything to add?
I was going to say that when you put it in order to have a larger financial return.
Right, so you want some kind of financial return in the end, that's right. So if you have a savings account, or if you have you put money in the stock market or in a bond or something like that, or something at your bank, an investment, you'll expect over time to get more money back out, right? Okay, good. Those are awesome. What about a budget? What is a budget? What would a budget be? Yeah, what do you think?
How you budget your money is like you put a set amount, you look at your expenses and you put a set amount for the different expenses that you have, so that way you don't go over what your income is.
Okay, very good, very good. So it's a budget would be kind of like a plan for your money, right? And the plan would involve the money that you take in for income, and the money that you have to pay out for expenses. And so that budget is a plan to keep track of your money and to make sure that you don't go broke, right? And also to make sure that you're spending the right amount of money on the right things. So it's a plan for your money, so that you can keep track of what your money is, where your money's going, and what it's doing. Okay, what is a financial scam? What's a financial scam? Yeah?
It's a fraudulent message targeted at stealing your money or personal
Okay,
information.
fraudulent message targeted at stealing your money or information. So a scam, you know what a scam is, right? Someone that's not telling the truth in order to get something from you that's in a immoral or wrong manner, right? So a financial scam would be some kind of trickery that would be intended to take money from you or to get you to give someone money fraudulently. Yeah, that's good. All of that is good. So if you guys listen, if you have a different definition than what we're talking about, please add to your definition. That's kind of what we're doing here. So I don't want to just throw up all the definitions for you to blindly copy. I do want to kind of discuss this, but maybe I'll put some definitions up on the board too to see how close we got in a few minutes. So savings, what would you say savings would be? How would you explain savings to someone? So someone that maybe hasn't answered yet, can they, yes? Have you answered yet? I guess maybe you have.
No.
Oh, you haven't this one? Okay.
Not today, no.
Okay.
So savings is kind of a place where you can store money for certain things, like short-term savings for like first home savings or
Yeah.
retirement, like
Yeah, RRSPs,
yeah,
Registered Retirement Savings Plan.
FH,
SA.
home.
First home savings.
First home savings, okay, yeah. Very good, yeah, it's a place for you to put money where you can save it for either a later goal, either short-term or long-term. But it's a place for you to put money or investments or some kind of assets in a place where you can use it at a later date, right? And lots of times savings accounts and different savings things will actually kind of make you more money than just a simple checking account or if you didn't put it in any kind of account. So a savings account is intended for your money or assets to be stored away for a while so that you can use it at a later time. Excellent. Okay, I did mention income and expenses. This is on the second page there. So this might be a pretty easy one. How would you define income, though? How would you explain that to someone? All right, anybody that's not answered yet? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's the money that you make or that you work for.
Okay, the money that you make or the money that you've worked for. Right, okay, so yeah, it is usually money. Income is usually money. And it's usually regular. It's usually something that you have worked for, so all that's very good. I would say that it's like almost 100% of the time it's money, but income can be just something that you get, like an asset of some sort that you get, but most of the time it's money. There's an old movie. Oh man, there's an old movie. What's it called? The Wedding Singer. You guys ever seen the old movie, The Wedding Singer? So this guy is a struggling musician, but he's a very kind struggling musician. So he gives singing lessons to this old lady, and she's like a little bit kind of like mentally unstable. And so she pays him with meatballs. She makes meatballs and pays him for his time in meatballs. And sometimes she just like grabs meatballs in her hand and like gives it to him on the way out the door. Like, it's funny, but anyways. I wouldn't call meatballs income, but in a sense, it's something of value that you're getting for your time or your services. So just a word to the wise, if anyone offers for a job to pay you in meatballs, just say no. You cannot eat that many meatballs. They're not worth that much on the market, okay? So say no to meatballs. Okay. Expenses would be then what? What would expenses be? Who's not answered yet? This one, yeah?
Something within your... Something that costs more than what your budget could carry.
Something that costs more than what your budget could carry. Okay, I see where you're going there. The budget does take into account income and expenses. If I would alter that just a little bit. I would say that anything you
more than what you could buy like at that certain moment.
Well, okay, going over budget would mean that your expenses are greater than your income. So I think you're kind of saying that, but expenses themselves would be anything that you would have to pay for. So any services or goods that you'd have to pay for, right? So if you pay for a bus pass to get to school, that's an expense because you are giving money away for that. If you have to pay for your cell phone or for your car or the fuel in your car or your textbooks or whatever, you're paying out, that's an expense. So I think you're going a little bit beyond just the definition of expense. You're talking about a budget that is imbalanced. So if you make this much, but you spend this much, your expenses are over then you've got a problem and that you have to adjust your budget. So you're going a little bit beyond that, but that's what, anybody else have anything to add for expenses? Is that a pretty clear definition on it? Yeah?
I think expenses are things like, they could be like bills, insurance, and groceries that are like regular needs that you need.
Okay. Yeah.
And just regular purchases.
Right.
You have to spend your money.
Okay, yeah. Regular purchases or needs, even wants are expenses, but anything you have to pay for to get. Absolutely. Very good. Okay, just a few more. Financial plan. Kind of seems maybe a little obvious, right? Financial plan. But what would you say to someone that didn't know what a financial plan was? Yes?
An organization of your income.
An organization of your income. Okay. Good. Anybody want to add to that? Organization of your income. I would add to that in saying that a financial plan would be not only organization of your income, but also your expenses. So you probably should add a plan for the future or a plan for financial goals that include a strategy on how to achieve those goals, including your income and expenses. So how you could organize maybe your budget to achieve financial goals. a financial plan. So if I want to retire in 5 years, that's what I'm thinking about right now, do I have the right plan to retire in 5 years? Okay. So I'm going to be 30 years teaching in 5 years. So I'll have my 30 years in. I'll be able to get my full pension if I want to. But what about my other expenses? What am I going to have my house paid off? Am I going to have my car paid off? You know what I mean? So you have to plan, and there is a point for you guys. Let's say you want to buy a car. Okay? It's great if you want to buy a car. If you don't have a job or any income, and you're the one that's paying for it, you have to have some kind of plan, right? So that's a kind of an example for you. Okay, what about credit? What does credit mean? Yes?
It's a score given to you based on how you pay back your loans and debt.
Okay, what was the first word you say? It's what given to you?
A score?
A score? Oh, okay. Well, a credit score, okay, if we're talking about a credit score, that's related to credit. Okay, so the credit score. Credit itself, and your definition there had a lot of the parts into it, right? Credit would be sort of the money that would be afforded to you or could be given to you based on your ability to repay it back, okay? If you have money or some kind of assets that someone or an institution is willing to give you to use with the expectation that you have to pay it back, that's called credit, okay? So if you have a credit card, does anyone here have a credit card? I don't think you guys are old enough to have a credit card. Maybe somebody? If you have a credit card, that means that this company, okay, and this card is allowing you to make purchases or to spend basically their money on things, and they trust you to pay it back. And if you don't pay it back, you've got some major penalties, right? That's called interest on the cards. So if you use a credit card, you can use a credit card to make a purchase, and that's actually not your money that you're using. You're using somebody else's money or an institution's money, but then you have to pay them back. A mortgage is like a big loan. It's like a big piece of credit for your house. And so most people have a mortgage, which means that they have like hundreds of thousands of dollars that the bank has actually given them to pay for a house, and then that person would have to pay the bank or that financial institution back. So credit is the privilege of using money that's not yours with the expectation that you'll pay it back. And usually there's interest when you pay a loan back or when you get credit, which means that, hey, I'll let you use my money, but you have to pay this back plus a little extra. That's what interest is. And all the banks and the people and the companies that loan money, usually it's with a little bit of interest back. And that you're just paying for the ability to use their money. That's your thank you to them. Sometimes there's 0% interest, you'll see, and that means that you don't have to pay that little extra back. So you see that sometimes. Okay, one more thing. Insurance. What's insurance? What is insurance?
To use money as a safety for something.
To use money. What was the next part? To buy things.
Buy the safety.
Okay, to buy the safety. Okay. I like that. So insurance is, okay, so to use money to buy safety. So if you buy insurance, that means that you are paying someone that for help that you might need, right, later. That's kind of what that means. Very good. So let's take a quick look at some of these definitions that I have here and see how close we were. So banking. The business conducted by a bank or services offered by a bank. This is very general. I think we were more specific when we talked about the ability to pay bills and to store and retrieve money and to give money to people and so we had a better one than this one. Investments, the action or process of investing money for profit or material result. We got that, right? We are putting money into something that we will expect to grow or to have more money in time. A budget is an estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time. Very good. It takes account of your income and expenses. Financial scams, any attempt to deceive another for financial gain, and we added that it was fraudulent or trickery. Yeah, that's what happens. Savings, somehow my formatting got messed up. So savings would be something like money or valued assets that are stored away for future use. We got that pretty exact. Income, money received especially on a regular basis for work or through investments. Oh, we didn't mention through investments, but of course, I think we just mentioned just because of the work or something that you've done. But yeah, investments can be your income too. Awesome, okay. Sorry, I'm going over this pretty quick. If you want to add to it, I'll just try and go slow down a bit. So income, money or assets that a person receives useful for buying or trading for other things. So money or assets that a person receives. Expenses, the cost required for something. So this is what you are paying out for. You're giving money or whatever, your time, whatever, for something else. A financial plan would be an outline or strategy to achieve a certain financial goal or goals. Credits, the ability of a customer to obtain goods or services before payment. Yeah, that's the big thing too. They're going to give you money to use and you'll pay it later. I think we said that. So it's based on the trust that the payment will be made in the future. Yeah, you don't automatically get a credit card. You have to apply for it. And when you apply for a credit card, I think you usually have to be 18. You have to tell them how much money you make. You have to tell them, all this stuff, what your job is. You have to tell them all this. And they look at all that information and they make a judgment on you saying, yeah, we'll give you a credit card. You guys can get a student credit card pretty easy. You can't use much money on it. Like the limit is pretty low, like maybe $500 because they don't trust you. Like my credit cards are like $20,000 because I've been paying credit cards for years and years. But you'll have a low credit, so you can only use it up to maybe $500. And if you default, or that means if you don't pay your debt back right away, then they can cut you, or anyways. So, but it's easier for you to get a student one because it's just lower risk. Yeah. Please. Insurance, okay, so this is the technical definition. Guarantee of compensation for a specified loss, damage, or illness, or death in return for a payment of premium. So that's kind of a technical definition. I liked ours that we came up with, right? It's basically you're paying for someone to help you in the future financially if you need it. That's pretty good too. So it's the guarantee of compensation if you have loss or damage. And you have to pay some kind of premium, which is a regular small amount that you pay over and over and over again, just for the ability for them to help you if you need it. Alrighty. How are we feeling about those definitions? Do you kind of feel like you understand all that stuff? Okay? All right, very good. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about this debate, okay? So a debate is where you take up a position and you generate or you create reasons to support that position, whether you actually believe it or not, okay? It helps you to process through what reasons would I give to support this, okay? And it's important in life, actually, to consider other people's perspectives. So in a debate, you might be passionate about a certain opinion, and you would be able to try and convince other people that your opinion is correct. But in this, what we're going to do is I'm going to randomly split you up into two halves, and one group is going to take up a certain position, whether you believe it in your heart or not. The other group is going to take up the other position, and you are going to think about, you're going to brainstorm with each other, you're going to think about reasons how you can either defend or oppose this position. So it's good to put yourself in someone else's shoes once in a while and think about what somebody that thinks differently than you might be thinking. So this is a good life skill, but this also is going to help us explore facets of money and value and worth. So check this out. The thesis statement here, the statement that you will be either defending or supporting or rejecting, is this: money is the root of all evil. It often brings out the worst in people. Okay, so I'm going to split you up into two groups. Group one is going to agree with this statement, and you guys are going to put your heads together and write down reasons why you agree with that statement. That yes, money is awful. It often brings out the worst in people. So you think about examples, you think about things that that you can rationalize with your mind to support that. The other group is going to say, no, I totally disagree with the statement. Money has nothing to do with evil and people's poor decisions. And you're going to generate some ideas on how you might disagree with that. Okay? So this is what's on your paper. Okay, you're going to debate this statement below. I want you to record your discussion with your group, and I'm going to give you the next 15 minutes to do that in class. Record the discussion with your group on this paper. And so group 1 will write your ideas on this first side. Group 2, you can write your ideas on the back side. Okay? And these are the things I want you to consider. This is just kind of a start. These would be good points to consider. Why do families fight over money? Okay? Why is money such an important and sometimes divisive thing? Or why is it such a contentious issue? Okay? Is it money? Is it choices? Is it people? Is it things, you know? Do rich superstars have high rates of divorce because of all the money they have? You might argue, yes, money is the problem. You might argue, no, there are other factors involved, and so on. Reality TV shows show a glamorous, rich lifestyle, but are they really happy? Does money buy happiness? So these are some things I want you to consider. Is it better to be rich and miserable with a house and car and a means to live extravagantly? Or is it better to be poor and happy with what you have? A low standard of living, but still able to live. So these are some things I want you to consider. And I'm going to now split you up into 2 groups. And I want you to discuss for the next 15 minutes and write your answers on the side that coincides with your group, okay? Because when we actually do this debate, we're actually going to debate each other, and we should be ready to do that tomorrow at some point, hopefully the last half of class for sure. You're going to have your side filled out. Your group is going to be, tomorrow's Friday. Okay, we don't have class tomorrow, Monday. Okay, it'll be Monday. So we'll do this debate the next class. Well, it won't be tomorrow, you're right. So the next class we will do the debate, and I want you guys to actually take turns defending this. You're going to bring up 1 point for each of you, and you're going to defend your position. Got it? So right now, I'm going to split right down the middle, right here. All right, once again, make sure that your half of this, that your side of this sheet is filled out for Monday, so that you are ready to defend your position for the next class.
What's Gabe,